And life for me turns a million damn circles. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to hold on to things, and I want to try to let things go. And I think it hurts because sometimes I can understand the effect that I have on people. Sometimes I can affect the outcome that people have. And that's the thing that hurts me the most about my life, is that that happens. I think for myself, my biggest letdown, my biggest disappointment to myself is uh, knowing that I think I caused my mom to go on drugs. And you know, a lot of people look at me and they'll be like, "Oh, how can you do it? How can you do it? How can you hold on to that hurt so long?" But I don't have a choice, I think. And I think that's probably my breakthrough point for myself, is saying, "Hey, dude, you got to quit holding on to this, believing that you're the one and you're the reason that your mom was on drugs." And I remember the day where I felt that I caused that problem, but I'm not saying my mom should have went and got on drugs, but I know for sure that I'm the reason. So I always tell people about my life and the way my story happened. And one of the things is that I almost killed my whole family. I was 5 years old, and it was my mom, me, and my brother. We were laying in bed. We was living out in Newburgh in Louisville. And I remember my mom letting me and my brother sit there and watch TV. She had her TV up on the wall. We had the cable boxes that you just pull with the long brown string. And I remember sitting in her room watching DC Talk, DC Cal with Mr. T. And I remember my mom leaned over and saying, "Dre, give me the lighter." And I never played with lighters. I never touched them. That's the first time my mom told me to give her a lighter. And I gave it to her, and she flashed, and I saw that flash. I was like, wow. And I knew at that very moment when my mom went to sleep that I was going to grab that lighter and get up under the bed and play with it or do something up under the bed. Now, I don't know why I would have got under the bed, because I didn't know. I didn't know what a lighter was. I didn't know. I didn't. Like, maybe I could have just sat right there in front on the bed and just did that with it. That would have been a lot better than what I did. So I got on the bed and I grabbed this blue lighter and I start flicking. And the plastic catches on fire. And I go like this and I jump back in the bed. I'm leaning back on the bed. I got my arms crossed and I'm shaking. And I remember flames going around the room. And I look, and now the whole wall is on fire. And the TV started messing up. And when the TV started messing up, that's when I called my mom. I started hitting her. Spider, spider, spider. Now, a lot of people don't know, because I always kind of keep this in. I had like the worst speech impairment growing up. I was in speech therapy until I was, I think, 7th grade. So I had to take speech pathology classes because I couldn't pronounce PHs, Zs, SPs. Like, it was so many words. So you'll hear me as I talk. A lot of times I talk with a list. Like, I literally could not talk. I could not give you a full nothing because I couldn't pronounce any of the words. Instead of saying pop, I would say fop. Instead of fire, I would say spider. All those things. Like, I couldn't pronounce these. It wasn't until I probably got in the 6th grade that I knew how to pronounce oxygen, because I would always get stuck on the OX and I'd be Akin, and I never could pronounce it. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm reflecting over this thing that my mom taught me and my brother better. She taught us to make good decisions, because she was at the time, you know, my dad, well, my brother's dad, they had broke up. And I remember my mom always showing me and my brother things. She always showed us, so I knew what I was doing. So I tell my mom, I wake her up, boom, hitting her, mama, spider, spider, spider. And she says, "Boy, fire, not spider, fire." And she jumps up, and I remember her trying to put the fire out. And then I remember just looking at her wall and everything just blazing, and it just went up. She grabs us, we run out the door. Now, this is the argument between me and my mom, not even an argument, but I remember running down the driveway, and we had a gravel driveway that had gray rocks. And I remember my mom saying, "I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass." My mom said she didn't say that. I would have told that I did that. But I came up with this lie that the fire jumped out of the storage room and came all the way through. I literally had that thought in my head. That's what I believed. That if I told my mom that I would have died. That's the thing that scared me the most, is that I knew that I was gonna get in trouble. And from that moment, me and my brother, we went over to my grandmother's house, and then we ended up going to Cincinnati. Not Cincinnati, but Cleveland, Ohio. We ended up living in Cleveland, Ohio. And our life was just went to hell. Like, our life went to shit. Now, my mom was on Section 8. My mom had my brother when she was 16, had me when I was 17. I mean, had me when she was 17 years old. So at the time, my mom, that was our second major fire. That was our second major fire. The first fire was not any of our fault. We was living in an apartment with her, my brother's dad, and the apartment's caught on fire, and we had to evacuate. But this time, now, like, what I tell people is that the reason why I believe that I did is because my mom later, months later, she got addicted to cocaine. She started using cocaine. And I believe that I started that effect, that I started that stress level for my mom. My mom was 22 years old at the time, where her youngest son, 5, and her boy, 6, all of them almost died in a fire. A fire. And I asked my mom this today, because it's been hurting me so bad, because I believe that I fucked up my whole family life when it comes to me, my brother, and my mom, because of that fire, because of something I knew that I shouldn't have been doing. And the shit, like, it literally hurts. It hurts, because I know I shouldn't have did it. It hurts, because I watched how my mom has dealt with drugs over a lifetime, and me going to 9 elementaries, 3 middle schools, 3 high schools, 3 colleges, all I set that tone. That shit hurts. Like, that shit hurts so deep, that I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to feel love. One of the reasons why I don't want anybody to love me, because of that mistake when I was 5 years old, that I knew, because I always been intelligent, I always been smart, I always been just this bubbly, great, charismatic kid. I did. I always been that guy. I always knew, like, that I was gonna be something out here. And I know for my whole life I've been holding on to that one situation that I know I was the reason why the outcome is where it is right now. People ask me all the time, they say, you know, do you feel that you shouldn't hold on to that weight? Do you feel that's not your responsibility? I'm like, I'm not gonna let you put that on my mom. Like, I refuse to let you put that on my mom, because I knew better. I've been cooking since I was 5 years old, man. I know better. I know what I should have been doing. I know I shouldn't have had my ass up under that bed playing with that lighter. I knew that, because if I did, most people would try to throw it on. No, I'm gonna take that weight. I'm gonna take that weight. I'm gonna take all that baggage that I gave my mom and my brother, and I'm gonna keep that shit in, and I'm gonna hold on to it, because I knew, like, when my brother and me was out, and I got shot in my head because the guy was gonna shoot my brother, I felt that was my way of giving my brother his chance back. Like, I felt that was like, shit. Hold on, man. Like, I know. And I think that's why I always open my heart up to people. I always try to give back to everybody. And I always try to do it, because I feel that I ruined so many lives. I feel that's one of the things that set me on the pace to not want to love nobody, to not want to accept love, to not want to be out there, because I can love you, but I'm gonna love you and I'm not gonna let you get close to me because I don't want to receive that shit back. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt you. And I think for myself that I've done the worst thing that you can possibly do besides take a life, or rape a human being. I almost killed somebody over something I knew I shouldn't have been doing. Shit is like it chews and it eats me up, and it makes me feel like that burden. Like it really makes me feel like that burden on me. And yeah, people can say, hey, you were, that was 85, 86 when it happened. But dude, like I remember it like it was yesterday. I know what I did wrong. I can walk you through the whole breakdown. So when I got to the fact of saying, okay, I put my mom on this rampage in her life that she never recovered from, that she's just now really getting out of. The pain that my brother dealt with his father, that's something totally different. But I think for our structural well-being, my mom, yeah, she was on Section 8, but we were good. We were comfortable. She had a nice house. Everything was good. But she didn't have stress. She didn't have stress. And I brought that into her life. Like I brought that miscellaneous thing, because I remember like, dude, we had like the fucking good life. We had like we had the series of good life. Everything, like we had it. Everything was great, man. So I think me wanting to wake up in a bed alone, and me not wanting to hold hands and all those things, because I still kind of feel like that little boy up under the bed holding that lighter and catching the world on fire. I feel like that is what destroyed my inner heart. I think that's one of the things that destroyed it, and that it put that guilt on my life for so many years. Like I know I can say within a million words. If you gave me, I would just say, give me 3. I did it. And I lied about it, man. I ended up telling on myself years later. But the damage was there. The damage was done. You know what I'm saying? The damage was done, man. We were in a great school system, great neighborhood, great everything. So yeah, I learned that over time that I became this self-sabotager. That when I got in a relationship, that I would find any way to get out. That it was about sex. Yeah, that was all it's going to be about. There was nothing else that I wanted you to offer me. There's nothing, like, I always been like the giver. I don't want to take anything. I want to give. I want to do. I want to give you emotionally. I want to psychologically give you this. And I had that disconnect, because a person can sit there and talk to me for an hour. You can read 1 million of my books and tapes and everything. But at the end of the day, you still are not going to know me, because I'm not going to open that safe. My heart is like that Prince safe. Like it won't open until I'm gone. Like you're not gonna feel what I was doing until I'm gone. You're gonna feel the trickle effect, but I'm scared to give the world me, and that's what fucks me up, is that I haven't gave me. When somebody asks, they're like, "Oh, when do you smile? When do you do this?" Like, dude, I got so much within that I gotta pull out, that I can't be myself, man, because I'm still right there hurting. That I need to fix that. I need to. I gotta get over it. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out what did I do to hurt myself. I go down this path, and I go down this new transition where, hey, dude, he's a stripper. Hey, dude, he's a exotic dancer. And for me, there was no shame. For me, there was no letdown. For me, that was like, dude, what's the worst, nigga? You almost killed your family. It can't be a disgrace on you taking your clothes off. That's nothing. There's nothing out here that can hurt you but myself. Like I learned that that's the only thing that hurts me is myself. Nobody out here on this earth can touch and make me feel the way that I do. I'm always going to judge myself. I'm always going to cut myself at the legs and say, I'm never going to be perfect. I know this. And I'm always going to be rough. And I think that's because I reflect on where I should be and where I know I should be. And what if that little boy never got under that bed with that lighter and caught it on fire? Where would he be at? Where would you be at, Dre? That's where I'm at. That's what I want to ask myself. Like, where would you be at, dude, if you never did that? And that's what hurts the most for me is I wonder. I wonder where I would be if I never clamped under that bed. Because nothing else in my life would have happened. I know without a doubt that nothing in my life would have happened. So pulling that out, and now you got this result of this guy who's taking off his clothes. You got this guy who now don't want to be in a relationship. Now at the time where he's looking at light skin and dark skin, where he's looking at big and tall, where he's looking at short and fat, he's looking at those things. So in order for me to keep myself from hurting within, I had to build my ego. And I had to keep myself happy. I had to try to make myself smile. I had to try to make myself feel good because I didn't want anybody else to make me feel good. Just imagine that. You don't want to let nobody let you feel good. That shit hurts to a T. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts so bad because I know where I should be at in my life. And I'm getting there. But it's also that I got to recover and I have to fix these demons within inside me. I met this girl when I was working at a video store. And when I met her, she was kind of thick, cute. And I remember she wasn't like beautiful. She was okay, but her body was like perfect. Like, oh, wow. And I messed with this girl for so many years. But the first time I tried to mess with her, for the first few weeks, like, she would ghost me. She would like leave me hanging like, wow. And then we end up messing around. And I remember thinking like, she's not even cute like that. She wasn't even like that. She was nowhere. Like, I'm looking like, dude, bruh. That's when I realized that I was only trying to have sex as this component to be friendly with people. So when I would meet girls, I thought that's like the dog sniffing the butt. That's like that kind of friendly, like the dog hump you like it's nothing else. I didn't mean want anything else. That was just my gesture of just saying, hello. Hello. What do you want? And I remember her asking me one day, she was like, when I met her, she was like a size 12. By the time we got done messing around, she probably got up to like a 22, 20 at least. And I remember her asking me, and I never, like, I've literally ignored the fact of going into this girl's room and her room looking like a complete mess. Like, I remember going into her room and old jars and bowls and trash and everything. I never paid attention to her room. I never looked at it. I never realized that every time I went in her house, the room was dark and the TV was on. And it was just this big, huge bad. And I remember, like, I've never paid attention. I never looked at it. I never paid attention to anything in this woman's room. And I mean, you got cups and jars and trash, and the bed is all messy. And I remember messing with her and her laying down. I'm looking at this bed, and it's like, it looked like it got like nut stains everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, dude, bro, like, what is wrong? And I go into the restroom, and the restroom is just a mess, like completely nasty. I'm like, where the is this? Like, whoa, like, Dre, you just hit that. You nasty nigga. Why did you hit that? I don't know. Like, I knew for so many months and years to do, like, cut this bitch off. She's no good. Like, Like, I would go over, her kids are downstairs, sleep on the floor, and she's telling you to come over. I'm like, oh, she got like 4 kids. You going through, you walking, you stepping over kids, and you go up here and you bash, and you knock her out loud. And your kids are in the house, and I'm thinking, like, dude, at some point, I don't care. Like, Dre, why don't you care? I finally looked, and she asked me, she said, why are you messing with me after all these years? God damn it, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer to this. I don't know why I would still be sticking in a box. Why? I heard this, and I went to my car, and I got in my car. And even though, like, my typical thing after I mess with a girl, I go wash up in the sink or jump in the shower. I'm smelling. Like, I feel dirty. Like, this is the first time I literally have messed with a woman and I felt dirty after. I'm talking about, I've knocked off chicks in circuit cities. I knocked off girls at the picnic area at the park. I knocked off girls at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. I knocked off girls in the Galleria utility room. I knocked off girls at work at the Galleria. I knocked off girls at the Gall House Hotel in the break area. I knocked off girls on the riverfront. I knocked off girls in the swing. I knocked them off in cars. I done bashed in movies. I knocked off girls in a Chevron bathroom on Dixie Highway, literally, all the time. Like, literally all the time I was doing this when I was going to skate. I used to meet this girl all the time, and we was on the floor, in the restroom, on the ground, no cover, no nothing, butt ass, like, naked right there. On the ground, naked. I'm like, wow, boy, what is... And she wasn't cute, but at the same time, she's getting this decent looking dude. So she getting a big head. Same thing about now. And I'm looking back and I'm like, I never looked at a face. It was always about the box. And I remember my mom telling me this all the time. She always used to say, like, booty before cutie all the time. Booty before cutie. I left her alone because I knew I'm not going to go out in public with this girl. It's always going to be a creep. It's always going to be a creep move. But at the same time, I got to want better for me. But at the same time, I'm looking at my dick and I'm like, dude, like, I know he like, man, he ain't seeing faces. Hurt people. Is not always true. Sometimes people get hurt and they want to hurt themselves, not people. Confessions.